Welcome to Talking Bridal with Bridezilla. I'm Kelly, and today I am joined by a lovely friend of mine who, I've got to say, we go way back. Way back.
We
back
do.
to school. And I thought Charlie would be the perfect bride to have on today because not only have I done a wedding once, I've done it twice. That's how long I've been around. So welcome, Charlie. Thank
Hello.
you for joining me today. Great to have you on here. Now, I worked with you on your wedding during my first year of business, when I first started up Bridezilla back in 2010. And again last June. So we're just coming up to your 1 year anniversary. Compared to like your, both your weddings, okay, we're not going to talk too much about the first one, but both your weddings, the first one that you had was the big white wedding, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. And then last year you went for a more kind of intimate vibe.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about those.
So I think the first time round, I was 29 when I got married the first time. That's showing how old I am now.
Me too. Me too.
And I definitely had that kind of like young sort of head on my shoulders that wanted to have the big day, the horse and carriage, the big dress, the lovely venue, and all the bells and whistles on.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic day. It was an amazing day. What happened afterwards wasn't so amazing. But
well, if I remember rightly, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, obviously, I was there. I was there through the whole day. But you did choose to get married on Friday the 13th.
Yes, I did. That was setting myself up for a fall, I think.
I think it could have been. And the fact that actually, although it was August, the middle of August, you're thinking, the horse and carriage is going to be amazing. It actually pulled it down all day,
yeah,
didn't it?
it did. We came out of the church and literally, I mean, Kelly had done my hair. It was beautiful. It was curled. It was down. And I felt very much like a princess. And I stepped out the church and it was like grey rain.
It was like, I'm sure there's like a flash of lightning as well, wasn't there?
It was dull and it was raining. And I remember having this like umbrella like thrust in my face. And the first photos of kind of us together as a couple and like with the family were in the rain. And then I had this vision of being like something out of Pride and Prejudice going across Wasing Park in the carriage, with the stunning horses with the sun beaming down. And no, it was just like a torrent. Me and Dad were just sat there. And the guy in the front was like, would you like the roof up? And I was like, no, I need it down.
I'm just going to get wet.
This is ruining my moment. I can't have the roof up. So yeah, that was quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so that was your first one. Moving swiftly on from that. That was a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
Last year, you married Mark.
Yeah.
The lovely Mark. And you had more of an intimate wedding. So, compared to the two, how would you say, I mean, what did you prefer? In terms of, obviously, like you say, you were quite young when you first, and you did want the big white wedding. I loved your second wedding as well. It was very intimate. And obviously, it's a second marriage, and you do find a lot of people do tend to kind of go a little bit more low key. How did you sort of decide on what you were going to do for your second?
Well, I think what was so lovely about the second time, we were a bit of a lost end. We didn't quite know where we were going to do it. We knew how we wanted it to be, but we didn't know how we were going to make it happen. Like, we didn't have a huge budget. We didn't want to spend loads of money. It was really just about us two, saying that we wanted to be together, and marking that rather than it being about the wedding, so to speak. So we were really lucky that a good friend of ours who has a fab house was like, why don't you do it at ours? And then you can still keep that kind of low key party vibe and just enjoy the day. And it's someone that also, isn't it? So it was a lovely day because from the very beginning, Kelly arrived, you arrived, and it was just so nice to kind of be in the house and doing everything under one roof. And obviously we went off to the venue to actually have the ceremony and then came straight back again. But it just felt really relaxed to have Kelly, to have Phoebe, the makeup artist, and to have everyone just kind of there. It was just like home from home. And because I know the house really well and it's my friend's house, the whole thing just felt very intimate. We all felt very relaxed, and it was great from the start. Right from the moment that kind of you guys stepped through the door, it just felt so chilled. And Yeah,
it really was.
Yeah,
it was a
and
really
I think we
chilled
all
morning.
enjoyed it.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
It was obviously it was a sort of a day for Mark and I, but everyone there just seemed to really enjoy it from the moment we started till right at the end when we were like leaping around the dance floor with no shoes on and just
doing what we do best.
And you joined in with that, so it was even better.
I think I was joining in like right in the morning. I mean, with Darcy, your daughter, we were just having such a good time, and we were just had the music up, and it was a really good feeling.
It was.
And I know you had one of our team members, Phoebe, do your makeup for you.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact from speaking to Mark that you came back from your bridal preview with her, literally, Phoebe this, Phoebe that, Phoebe said this, Phoebe said that. How'd you get on with Phoebe?
Well, I had a girl crush, I think.
Everyone does.
Yeah, she's just so lovely. She couldn't be more down to earth. I think sometimes if you're not someone that's like involved with kind of hair, makeup and that side of things on a daily basis, you could feel initially a bit like, oh, am I going to feel a bit intimidated or maybe a bit judged, or am I going to, is it going to fit for me? Because ultimately for me, I wanted to look like me, but the best version of me.
Yeah.
I didn't want to look like someone different. And I knew Mark didn't want that either. Well, I don't think he did. He might have done. So, for that reason, I wanted that, and I knew that you would do that because I know you and I knew what you did the first time round. So I was totally at ease with that. But anybody else it felt like it needed to be the right person.
Yeah.
And the moment I stepped foot through her door to have my trial, I just knew that was right. She was so easygoing, so professional. She put me right at ease. And not only that, she's got all of that about her, but she's also incredibly talented.
Yeah.
So it was the best of both worlds. And I really felt like she listened to what I said, what I asked for, or, kind of the vibe that I was going for. She totally took on board. She was just brilliant. And
she really is.
And I really felt $1 million after she'd done my face. And on the wedding day, equally the same. It was just a joy to spend time with her. It was like having another great friend as part of the gang in that morning.
She just fits in, doesn't she?
Yeah, so I loved it. And, like I say, her work is incredible. So.
I think it is a testament as well, because going back to the whole weddings, your first wedding was a complete washout, it's safe to say. Your second wedding, we were getting weather warnings the week before of this heat wave coming in.
Yes.
And it really was one of the hottest days of the year.
It was boiling hot.
And your makeup, I mean, Phoebe did my makeup as well, obviously. And it was still there. It was still there, through the day. So I think,
And I didn't go for, I didn't have her there sort of for ages. She did my makeup in the morning and it was relatively early. And by, like you say, later on in the day when we'd had pretty much 30 degrees in a wedding dress, sat under canvas, because obviously we had like the sort of marquee bit at the back. It was so hot. And everything stayed put.
Didn't go.
And I felt brilliant with it. And she even like little extra things. She was like, if you want to, we can work out what is the best lipstick, and then if you want that lipstick for the day, then you can use it. And just to kind of all those little things, just to kind of, just make a difference.
Just make a difference.
They make a difference.
Oh, that is amazing to hear. So obviously, you've known me a long time. When I first started, I was just pretty much a one man band with my sister. Obviously, you've seen the business kind of grow over the last 10 years. How would you say the service and everything has changed since when I first did your wedding? I mean, obviously, I know I did a great job on your first wedding. But, how do you, you came back to me again. You asked me to do your hair again for your wedding. What do you feel that's changed within the brand since then?
So I think... Well, it's an incredible growth, really, and it's testament to you and your work.
I mean, I will sort you out with the money later.
Yeah, thanks. She said she would.
Keep going.
But yeah, I think, a lot of it all boils down to talent and a lot of hard work. And I think the work you were producing 10 years ago was outstanding, and you were busy and you had a lot of interest, but I think you've just raised the game. And now the fact that you've got this amazing team behind you, that literally you are the face of it, but you've got people around you that are fantastic, and so you're now able to offer a service which is so seamless, and that team approach, which I think on a wedding day, certainly if you are having a bigger wedding and you've got lots of people involved, having that team around you that creates that feeling that everything's taken care of, not even just on the day, but like in the lead up to it.
Yeah.
You have that real relaxed sort of seamless approach, which is efficient but is also very calming, if you know what I mean. And I think when brides, especially the first time round, perhaps when they're a bit younger maybe, are doing all their wedding planning and they're putting everything together, it can be really stressful and it can feel like a mountain to climb, and I think it can take away some of the pleasure of what is supposed to be the best day. So having a team of people behind you that can they know what they're doing, they do it brilliantly well, and on the day that you're going to look $1 million, and even the lead up to that has been done so professionally and with fun and a smile ultimately, then that, do you know what I mean?
It's got to all flow, hasn't it?
But I think, you'd set your foundations 10 years ago, but I think that growth that you've made is incredible, and it's now giving that whole seamless approach to somebody's wedding day and giving them everything that they could possibly need for that to happen. So,
wow, what can I say?
There you
like
go.
I said, I'll sort you out later.
Yeah,
for
she's
that.
going to pay me a lot of money for that one.
Sort you that one out. No, honestly, I appreciate that so much, and obviously I have been working really hard behind the scenes over the years to build the brand, so that's fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
So moving away from weddings, what does a day in the life of Charlie look like these days? I mean, you're just coming up to a 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
I know you have a very busy home life. Tell us a little bit more about what you do.
So, I can't believe it's almost a year. So, June the 10th, we'll be at anniversary day, which is crazy, really. So life at home, life is exactly the same as it was pre-getting married, which sounds very boring, but it's not, because things were good before and they're still good now for Mark and I. That's good to know. We're not heading down any other road as yet.
I'll get you on the next podcast for divorce, yeah? We'll talk divorce.
Round 3, wedding 3? No, definitely not. So from that perspective, all good. And then, my days are kind of, they're very much jam-packed. So I've got 3 young children. They're all sort of spread out to a degree. So we've got 12, 10 and 4. So that keeps me busy.
And they're all girls. So 3 weddings to pay for at some point.
Oh, God, Kelly.
Can you imagine?
I'm going to need you.
Oh,
Will
God.
you still be doing it?
I don't know. I might be retired by then. Actually, I will be retired by then.
And actually, just to put something in there, Darcy, my eldest, has she's got really, really different hair, bless her. She's actually got something called uncombable hair syndrome, which most people have never heard of.
Never heard of, have they?
But there's been stuff in the news about it recently. Anyway, so Kelly had a task on her hands because dear Darcy decided she wanted to be like proper princess for the day, and her hair doesn't grow very fast and it's very tricky. So Kelly literally magically created this hairstyle. She'll have to show you on one of her pages or social media.
I will.
It was the most incredible transformation. Like, she literally had suddenly this long, amazingly thick, beautiful, like fishtail plait. And Darcy was so made up, but that's another whole thing. So she does create magic, this girl.
Thank you.
So
the magic of hair extensions.
I know, but weaving it all into what is hair that was so, it wasn't going to be very easily seamless because the hair is so different. So anyway, so that was good. But and then so I'm a mum of 3, and then I'm currently running 2 businesses. So I have for 20 years worked as a sports physio. That was my degree, and that's what I started out as. And at 40, I decided I was going to have a shift in career, which was a big step. And I ummed and ahed for ages about whether to do it, but I felt like I just wanted to do something different with my life for the next maybe 20 years of working. So I've set up a new business, which is an interior design business, and we're a year in now. Things are growing really nicely. I've just finished, I've done 4 projects and I've got 5 on the go now.
Wow.
So it's all residential work, quite far flung all over the south of the UK now doing things, but it's going really well. So I'm juggling every ball.
Like you're very similar to me. I think this is why we're such good friends, because we do send each other like the most random voice notes throughout the day, don't we? Sometimes just rambling on because we're so busy, and you really are just spinning plates the whole time. So with this new business of yours, am I right in saying that you work alongside your husband because you work on these projects together?
Absolutely. So Mark's actually he's I say sort of builder. He's not a sort of builder. He's a builder by trade.
Budget and run builder.
Budget and run. Don't go there. So he is fab because we've kind of collaborated now, and you're right, a lot of the projects that I'm now doing, he's working with me, and I think that's given me quite a boost of confidence, because even though what I do and what he does is quite different, he's got a real knowledge about how the trades work, how a project runs, how to manage it, materials and all the things that would be hard for me to know, or that I'm sort of learning. And he's come in, and so he's really given me that boost to push forward. And I think without him behind me like that, I would have probably done it, but it would have been a harder thing to achieve, and I probably would have had to find confidence. So he's really helped in that way.
It sounds like you're like the dream team now.
We are now the dream team.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. So if people are looking to like the sound of all this, I will pop your links in the bottom of this, but where can they find you? Where are you online?
So I'm charlottewhiteinteriors.com online, and I've got an Instagram page which is also Charlotte White Interiors, and offer all sorts of bespoke services really. So anything from like a colour consultation if you're struggling to know what colour to do your room, right the way through to like a full project management renovation. So we offer a real sort of plethora of services for all sorts of projects. So I'd love to hear from you.
It sounds amazing. Well, I know it is amazing because you've been to my house and done some little tweaks here and there as well. So you've always had a really good eye for this sort of stuff, and I know the business will just literally be booming.
Thank you.
So my last question, which I'm gonna be asking all of my guests and suppliers and previous brides, is at any point during your wedding prep or wedding day, did you have a bridezilla moment? And if so, what happened? Okay. What was going on?
So I think, to answer that question, my head goes back to the first wedding. And I can remember vividly us in the bridal suite, you being there, and you'd done my hair and it was all very chilled. Makeup was done. And I was really ready to go, and I'm looking at the clock thinking, right, come on, now it's time to get ready. And I was like, where's my mum? The dress was hanging up beautifully, and I'm quite traditional. I wanted her to be the one to sort of like do the backup and get the photos, and she just was nowhere to be seen. And then so I'm like, oh my goodness. And then right at the last minute, she comes flying up the stairs. She was all totally ready to go, bless her, and she looked amazing, but I was like, mum,
where the hell have you been? I do remember
underwear, like I need this dress on, and I really wanted you to do it. Anyway, it all was fine in the end, but I just had that slight sort of bridezilla
like panic
moment. And then
where's my mother?
And then actually you reminded me of, I think it's a common theme, because the second time round my mum did the flowers, and actually she is incredible, isn't she, Kelly?
She is incredible.
She's done a few weddings now. She doesn't give herself enough credit, but she does amazing wedding flowers. Get another drop of little business.
Just drop that in there. Drop that in there, Diane Freeman.
Briley Blooms, she's called. So she'd done these flowers. Anyway, cut the story down. We were like waiting for her to arrive with all the flowers. And again, we were like, where is she? We were like about to go, weren't we? To the ceremony, and she hadn't appeared.
Your mum just goes AWOL. Like, she's nowhere to be seen. And when she did arrive, I just remember, because I was getting in a panic for you, and she just like casually walked in, just chilled. Like, what's going on? Where's the fire? We're like, we need the flowers. The cars are here. We need to go. But bless her.
Love her dearly, mum. But unfortunately, she has given me the late gene. We do carry that in the family, so I'm not blaming her entirely. But that was probably my two moments.
I definitely blame mother. Mother. Well, what can I say? I mean, you've been a fantastic bride to have on.
Thank
Obviously, you're a very busy woman. So I do appreciate you giving up your time today to come on and talk on my podcast. This is very new for me as well. So I needed one of my best mates by me to go through all this. So thank you so much, Charlie, for joining me today.
It's been absolutely lovely. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome.
Thank you.